You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. All right, sorry. Wendy Williams, now former jeweler turned manager Will Selby, and her once publicist that we talked about during our recap of this two-part documentary, Shawn Zanotti, apparently are no longer working with Wendy Williams. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So we've been talking a lot about Wendy Williams, and I know a lot of people were not able to watch this two-part documentary on Lifetime. And I told you, based off the two-part recaps that we did, it was definitely worth it because you could see the intention wasn't to exploit Wendy Williams. It was to talk about where she's been, what's currently happening to her, and exposing guardianship across this country. Specifically, Wendy Williams' current guardian. We did a report yesterday, just in case you missed it, where we talked about Wendy Williams' current guardian and what she's been accused of. And we also pointed out to you, and our friends over at Chronicle Speaks did a wonderful video. Be sure to check that out. I'll link it in the description in regards to the judges involved in this guardianship situation, specifically with Wendy. But with the story that we covered yesterday, we told you the judges were also accused of alleged behavior that was not in favor of families being together and being the guardians, and actually other people. And these other people, attorneys, professional guardians, were trumping up, allegedly, all of these attorneys' fees and guardianship charges, draining these people of their money. I say all that to say the people in this documentary that came across very exploitive were not the producers. However, Shawn Zanotti, the publicist, Wendy's once publicist that you see where she took Wendy to LA without Will Selby even knowing, is accusing the producers of being exploitive. Well, it should be noted that the producers and the filmmakers of the Where is Wendy Williams documentary did speak out to The Hollywood Reporter and said that they had no idea that Wendy Williams had dementia. They did not know of her diagnosis. If they had known, they would have not filmed her. And I told you, go check out our recap. Based on what we could tell from what was happening, producers, the filmmakers, they weren't the ones that seem exploitive in this. Shawn Zanotti, Wendy's once publicist, and Will Selby do not come out favorably in this documentary. Specifically, Shawn. Well, Shawn is speaking because I know you noticed if you watch part 2 of this documentary, after that LA trip, you never saw Shawn again. You didn't even see when Will Selby goes up to have a conversation. He tells the filmmakers, I need to speak to them alone. And we already saw another side of Will Selby in this documentary. So God only knows what happened when he went upstairs, or how he spoke to Shawn or to Wendy. So our friends over at The Neighborhood Talk write this. It says, neighbors, it seems like Wendy Williams' documentary have been doing more harm than good. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, her publicist Shawn Zanotti, who was featured in the doc, is speaking out about how distasteful the film was to Wendy's overall brand. Really? Did you see yourself in this documentary, Shawn? It's interesting, too, that she's releasing a statement to NBC News. Did you get the contact there from that meeting that you held with a very clear, first of all, she was inebriated because she was drinking alcohol during that lunch with you. And she just was not in the right space to be meeting with TV executives. You brought her there. You scheduled that meeting. Okay. So in this exclusive statement to them, Shawn said who was featured in the doc is speaking out about how distasteful the film was to Wendy's overall brand. Shawn says despite what was shown, Wendy and her team's intentions were purely to show her rise, not downfall. She says, I felt that Williams was being exploited, said Zanotti, who began working as Williams' publicist in 2021. She thought we were focusing on the comeback of her career. She would be mortified. There's no way you can convince me that she would be okay with looking and seeing herself in that way. That is not the project that Williams signed up for. That's not the project the producers brought to me. That's not what I told her this was going to be about, Zanotti said. There were a lot of good moments. None of those good moments were shown. Are you talking about Wendy's good moments or the moments where you're seen as good? Shawn also responded to producers claiming that they wouldn't have continued filming if they knew of Wendy's medical condition. This, Shawn says, is a lie because she could tell the producers were fishing for content to fit the narrative they wanted. I don't think the diagnosis would have stopped them at all. The producers were asking questions throughout the entire time, would ask questions where she would somewhat seem confused, and I feel as though it was done to be intentional at the moment in time to make their storyline. Again, this was presented as a documentary to her, but to me, it looked as though it was a reality show of a circus to her downfall. Again, you said that you booked this for her. You also said in this documentary, you didn't see a drinking problem. You didn't see any issues with her. You said she knows how to control her drinking. You also said that, sometimes she forgets things. You downplayed what was very clear to a lot of people. And we have to keep in mind, Shawn had been working with her before this documentary. So you had a better picture on where she was than they did until they were in her life and seeing everything. Philly, where are you? Don't forget, I will be in your city. At this point, a week away. March 7th, we'll be at City Winery in Philadelphia for our Kempire After Dark live show. We're going to be talking about everything from this Wendy Williams documentary, Real Housewives of Potomac, and this reunion that's coming up, Beverly Hills, even some Salt Lake City. You never know what we're going to talk about, but it's always going to be a fun time. Don't be afraid to come out just with yourself, because that is just all right. Make a new friend. We love that. That's a theme of the Kempire After Dark show. People coming with themselves. You don't need anyone to come with you. Get your tickets today. Head on over to KempireAfterDarkLive.com/Philly. I will see you guys March 7th. More information will be available in the description of this video. This is sort of like what you see with reality TV stars. Oh, I didn't know that's editing. I didn't know they were going to do this. Am I saying the filmmakers are completely 100% innocent? No. But I came out of this documentary looking at you specifically and Will Selby as what the family had been talking about, pushing this woman out there for your own exploitive reasons, downplaying what was very clear to the audience. And we are watching an edited version. God only knows what the filmmakers left out. God only knows what they left out. I say all that to say, Radar Online is reporting that Shawn and Will no longer work with Wendy Williams. So they write this, Wendy Williams is no longer working with manager Will Selby and publicist Shawn Zanotti, who starred alongside the ailing talk show host in the controversial Lifetime documentary. It was rumored that Zanotti has been out of the picture for a while. Well, ever since that LA trip, probably. Sources claimed her jeweler-turned-manager Will Selby is no longer connected to her professionally, although they are allegedly on speaking terms, and the split must have been recent because Selby confirmed to Radar Online last week that he was still representing the star. Well, it's very easy to say that when she can't speak out for herself, and you allegedly seem to have a relationship with The Guardian that's been accused of pushing baseless guardianships with other people and sued for it for $30 million. Go check out that video that we did yesterday on that. And he knows where Wendy is and has seen Wendy before her own family, her own son, her own father, her own sister, her own brother. He has seen her. And remember, we also did a story just a few weeks ago about Will Selby and an interview that he did with Way Up with Angela Yee. And he talked about, yeah, Wendy was using me to make Kevin Sr. jealous. Oh, but I represent her. And I said, not after this. I already told you, I was like, the countdowns are ticking with the way that you've been handling this situation and the way that you were talking about her. I say all that to say, Radar continues this. It was rumored that Zanotti has been out of the picture for a while now. They said Will had initially remained involved in Wendy's care, and he's one of the few people who knows where she is, but he's no longer working with her, an insider shared with The Sun. Interestingly enough, Selby told Radar Online on Thursday, February 22nd, he was still Williams' representative just 2 days before the first 2 episodes of the Where is Wendy Williams premiered. So Radar reached out to Will Selby, but did not hear back. They did not hear back. The Sun has been on it when it comes to the Wendy Williams of it all situation. So I believe them because a lot of what we found out in this documentary, they have been reporting on as rumors. Regardless, again, I know it's hard for some people, and I'm not going to tell people to watch it if they feel like it's just going to be too hard for them to watch this documentary. But there is a spark of hope at the end of this documentary that we get from the family and how they are slowly but surely fighting back so that they can be as a family with Wendy Williams. Guys, as always, I want to know your reaction to the update that Will Selby and Shawn Zanotti are no longer working with Wendy Williams. Probably, not probably, definitely for the best. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a